invite the candidates for the social sciences and social profession school to come forward. Okay. So our first speaker is Barbara, and then she will have 2 minutes to explain her points. Thank you.
Hello, hi everyone. My name is Barbara Ntimi, and I am currently the Officer for Social Science and Social Professions, and I am standing for re-election. First of all, okay, this works, yeah? Okay. First of all, it's actually been like a real pleasure and a real dream of mine to be Officer at London Met. So the last 7 months representing students has been quite an experience, but it's been a very humbling one, and it's been a real pleasure to be the current officer. And yeah, I'm just here for re-election because I believe that what I've got to offer and the work I've got to do is not done. Some of the stuff I've done this year, 7 months already, include organising Black History Month and also our Education Engagement Week last week, which saw us launch a campaign against the rising increase in tuition fees. And I'm standing for re-election because I want to continue the fight for London Met, which values everyone, fairness, equality, and an environment where everyone can succeed academically. And some of the things I want to continue to do is to campaign against tuition fee increase, to campaign against course closures. I have loads of students come to my office every day talking about that lecture's been made redundant, people that they really like, courses that they really enjoy. And I want to continue as part of my role. I get to sit on the academic board. I want to continue to make the arguments that we should keep these courses because they're really important and valuable to students. I want to support our students. For example, this year we've seen CELT go. We've seen lots of students come in talking about needing academic support, especially in terms of writing essays and stuff like that. I want to continue to challenge the university, continue to provide those services for students. And a lot of people don't know this, but majority of students in London Met are women. And day in, day out, and personal experience of people have told me I've seen people being harassed or touched inappropriately or spoken to in a manner that's not right. I want to continue to work. I'm doing a piece of work with the Secretary's Office at the moment to basically make the rules and the complaints procedure very clear so students, especially women students, are able to report incidents like this. I believe that our university is a very diverse and unique one, as you see with the many faces in the room. I want us to be that way. I want our lecturers to reflect that, and I want that to also be reflected in our curriculum. And I'm really pleased the university is doing a course design review this year. And I want to continue to be part of an active, dynamic, and campaigning student union. That's why I think you should re-elect me. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Our next speaker is Jessica.
Thank you. Like this? Okay. Hi, I'm Jessica Arrow, and I'm currently in my 3rd year here at Holloway, studying theatre and performance practice. Throughout the whole 3 years that I've been here, I've fully enjoyed my university experience, and I really want to make sure that everybody else across all courses have an experience as well. I want to stand and I want to represent the student voice. I believe that every student's voice matters, and I feel that a lot of the time students are often ignored for what they want to stand for. I want to make everyone's experience here more social, so improve collaborations between courses and campuses. So for example, in my course, I want to have the opportunity to be able to work with film students, get our work filmed, get it documented, and that also benefits them as well for a portfolio. I want to focus on employability, so creating opportunities for people to go and have internships. And I want to be able to develop graduates for the world of work, so to go out, go on placements. The whole time that I've been here, I've only had 1 placement, and it's been completely irrelevant to what I want to do. I want to invite guest lecturers in with relevant experience to the courses so students can learn something and be prepared for the world of work. I feel that a lot of people with disabilities, they aren't heard, and I think that everything should be taken into consideration, that all their needs are catered for, everything. And one of the main issues that I feel as well, one of my main campaign points, is to build a creche. I have 2 ladies on my course who both are single parents, and they find it very difficult to bring their children into the university. I just want to make sure everybody's university experience is unforgettable and worthwhile and worth the money that they're paying for here.
Thank you, Jessica. Our next speaker is Mark.
Hello, fellow students. My name is Mark Buansi. I'm a third-year social policy and sociology student, and I'll be standing for a sabbatical for social sciences. I believe that we should improve working with my fellow, whoever is elected sabbatical officer. Sit too closer. I would work well with whoever was elected to be sabbatical officer to improve the student experience as a whole, including results from qualified lectures in all the lectures to the social aspects. I believe that the funding, there should be more funding for the societies and the sports teams. I also believe that, okay. Yes. If elected, I also plan to create a student cabinet team of full of students who are current, who know current affairs going on, who would advise me on current matters, and also give them a role to help so they feel more inclusive in the student union. I would also look to improve the communication between the student unions and the schools, the universities and the students by implementing more televisions around with advertisements on the television. So, fellow students, vote Mark Buansi for Mark. Appreciate it.
Check. Hi guys, how you doing? You right? My name is Simon Samaki, and I'm standing for the sabbatical officer. So I'm here, and I'm here to just ask you what you guys want for this university, because there's a lot of wasted money here, and I really don't like it. I pay 9,000 for what? We need to improve it, yeah. And I want you to just tell me about your needs, because we need, and I know that we can do something for this university, because I really love it, and I want to. Yes. Okay. Sorry. So my point are, first of all, to give more chances for the students to improve with the hearts. Okay. Basically, we need to have more improvement with the student unions, with the arts, radio, and all those stuff. And also, I need that to implement the a library, because they need one day during the week that can come here, 24 hours. 24 hours. I need it because I spent 9,000, and this is really stupid. All right, definitely. And I really want to make more an engagement with all the society, because also
thank you, Simon. So
we are
2 minutes has passed.
okay. Sorry for my
yeah.
no. So basically, guys,
Simon,
I will
everyone
just
has
let
only
you know.
2 minutes. Yes.
Okay,
Everyone has
okay.
only 2 minutes.
There's no problem, but I have my point.
No, that's fine. So now this is the time for the audience to have questions to our candidates. Who has any questions? Hands up, please. Yes, first question.
Hi.
Yes.
So my question is for all of you guys. If you
Okay, thank you. So the question is, if you are elected, what are your priorities, and then how are you going to make sure that the students' voices are heard?
Should I go first?
Yes, yes, everyone has the
Yeah.
the
Okay.
opportunity.
Right. How much time do we have, or are you just gonna cut me off when? Just be brief. Okay, cool. You're gonna regret this. Joking. Yeah. So for me, I want us to, as some of the candidates say, to have an active, dynamic students' union. I think that we do a really brilliant job at the moment. Like we recently got like an Investors Award. I think we engage a lot of students, and I definitely second issues about like volunteering opportunities and more social space and that. I think a lot of that is a lot of discussion that we have to have to the university, you know, the amount of money they give us and the things that we can do with the amount of money that they give us. But for me, my priority, like I said, is to have more people, more stars engaged, more student council members engaged, more events talking about what's happening in society, because I feel like sometimes we get bogged down in just unity, but we're also members of society and there's a lot happening outside. So working closely, stuff to do with racism, like sexual harassment, for example, and also just courses and the quality of courses. I have loads of people come to my office every day with lots of different complaints. Sometimes people are even scared to complain, and I think that that's a big shame that we can't say how we feel and we can't give adequate feedback about how our courses are going. So for me, those would be a few of my priorities. That was brief, wasn't it?
Thank you. Thanks.
Firstly, I would try and help promote all the activity, including societies, sports, student council, and just to try and help expand the student union community by putting everything out there, handing out flyers, being a voice, speaking out in lectures, like that, stuff like that, yeah.
Thank you.
I think one mistake that most sabbatical officers make, which is an easy mistake to make, is when you're elected into position to put your needs or your beliefs and go straight and implement them. So the first thing I would look to implement is a student cabinet who would advise me on current matters, because issues are always changing constantly. Situations are always changing constantly, dynamics are always changing constantly. So the first thing I would look to implement is a student cabinet who would advise me on current matters and relevant matters and get things moving that way. And whatever is voted as the priority for the current cohort of students is what I'll focus my energy on.
Thank you.
My goal is I will try to understand all your problems. That's it. Because what I really don't like that we got many issues to just solve. Sometimes people, they really don't care. I'm a part of the student life, and I know of what is going on. So basically, I will try only to understand your points, and then we can just try to make something all together. That's it. Yes. Simple.
Okay, thanks a lot. We are going to take more questions. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So the question is about financial difficulties with students. What are your views on that?
Should I go first? Again?
Yes.
Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. It's a very specific scenario. Thank you. Yeah, I think for us, the student union position would be to support the student to pursue the steps that they can. I'm not going to go through lots of regulations because I think it's unfair, because I've had a chance to be in the job for 7 months opposed to my other candidates. But I think that that particular student can speak to the university to come in agreement. But I think what you're talking about here is much more like welfare support, like talking that through the students. So a lot of my offices currently at the moment do offer to go to meetings and support students in situations like this, perhaps different sometimes, like complaints, disciplinary, that sort of thing. So that's for me, that's what I do, and from a student union position, that is what we can do. But yeah, so welfare support, making sure that the student has access all avenues in the university to try to come to an arrangement. For example, like you were talking specific about financial difficulties, only the university can make that. But like I said, that student can go to university and discuss with them and have some sort of financial arrangement. And yeah, that would be my take on that issue.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you. For this, I would try and provide as much support as I can, get them speaking to the hub, but also as well see if there's a way that the student can pay off this at a later date, perhaps, or something like this. Yeah.
I would direct the student towards the meddling floor in the library to the financial services who have a service of supporting students with financial queries. And I would also let the student know about, I think it's the Sir Livingston Fund, which supports students in hardship funds with going through certain difficult situations in the system in their situation. If elected, I would also lobby for more scholarships for gifted and talented students to motivate students to want to achieve so that we can boost the results of London Met together and we can all rise and do well.
Okay, what I can say that I'm not the strong candidate here, but I have the heart here. So basically, the thing is, I'm just going to have provide all your questions to make it the change because is the point. And all of us we can do it. So basically, I'm here for you guys. That's it.
Thanks very much. Are there any questions? Yes. Yes, please. Yes. Thanks a lot. So the question is about the mature students. How would you involve them within the university life? Can we start now with Simon? Yeah. Thanks. Yes, that's all. Yeah.
Okay, very nice. This is my field. So basically, I'm a part of the student union there. I'm just doing every time a radio show every Thursday. So I really love to be engaged with different people because. And I'm Italian, and then is quite weird to see oh my God, a black and Italian. So basically, I have a multicultural background because I'm also a Nigerian. So basically, I have two culture. Sorry. What I want to try to make a many events, yes, structured by the different kind and typology of cultural nation. We are here to even to understand every culture. So definitely, I can give all my experience because I'm also engaged in many activities because when I was in Italy, I was doing. Sorry for my lapsus. So basically, I'm here for you guys, but we can have a short brief together later, right? Right.
Okay, that's fine. So one of the events that I would have liked to have put on would be a World Foods Day. So that's something that mature students can get involved in as well. So everybody's proud of their culture. So it's just a chance for maybe in the Great Hall above the rocket for there to be different stalls and everybody can get involved. They can cook something from their home country. And I just think it's a really great way for everyone to meet people. It's not just like a typical student social event. It's a mature one as well.
Yeah, so I think that one of the problems is like we phrase this like scenario as mature students being the problem and how do we get them to engage with us as opposed to how do we engage with them, right? we're the students' union, we need to be accessible to them. And I think that sometimes you don't solve the problem by necessarily just creating separate events or doing things. You just need to make yourself more accessible to them. For example, so it's contacting your stars, for example, meeting up with stars, for example. I do that quite a lot. I call this my student stakeholders meetings. I have them a lot. Take people out for coffee, for a drink, have a chat with them, find out what's going on with them. I think that is the key. That's like on a personal level. But structurally, as a student union, I think that the way we make things accessible for mature students is look at specifically what times we have events. Maybe we should do more lunchtime events and early morning events as opposed to evening events, because people with childcare responsibilities, people who have to look after other people, might not necessarily be okay for them to stay quite late on campus. And I think that we need to take a new approach. Oh, further distance? Okay, I'm breaking up with the mic. I think we need to take a different approach as to how we deal with our students, and I think that we should never ever place them as hard to reach or hard to engage. Even though that might be the case, I think we need to look at ourselves and make ourselves more accessible to our students, because we are the Students' Union.
Thank you, candidates. We are now moving on to the next school. But before that,
I believe the activities at the university should be tailored. Certain activities in the university should be tailored to attract and engage mature students. Certain things which I think age doesn't matter, like activities like meditation, things like yoga, activities which all ages can get involved in, and it wouldn't marginalize mature students. I also believe Evan's idea actually of a question the student in the university for mature students with kids to be able to free up extra time would give them extra support. So I think that's a great idea as well. So
can I now ask the candidates from Computing, Digital Media and Human Sciences to come forward? Okay. So now we are moving on. The next candidate is Uzair.
Hi, everyone. Well, as being a student rep for the past 4 years now, from 2013 onwards, I believe that this experience would be a great benefit in helping students on a larger scale, and predominantly in areas which students have been facing difficulties, especially with the cuts and the staff redundancy. Even currently, we had a meeting with the stars, and I've raised issues, specifically in my faculty, in relation to having more equipments, better softwares to use, and the teachers many a times have been attending late, or at times not even been attending, so it has left a lot of impact on the student, especially because they pay £9,000 and they don't get the services that are required. So I personally think that if I stand up for them, I could be the voice for them.
Hi, my name's Florence, and I'm your current sabbatical officer for the School of Computing and Digital Media, as well as Human Sciences, and also currently the Student Union President. So three of the main things I want to highlight from my manifesto is communication, welfare, and students. Obviously, we know that from what I've been informed, and obviously being a student myself here at London Met, communication can be a bit of a shambles at times, where if there's relevant information that students need to know about, unfortunately, it may not get to students on time, and it's more or less a case of word of mouth. So what I want to do, if re-elected, is increase the transparency between lecturers and students, as well as senior management and students, to make sure that to close the gap and to make sure that students get the relevant information that they need. Break down jargon, because sometimes students can be applying for things like hardship funds and they may not necessarily understand all the necessary documentation they need to bring, and they can more or less implicate themselves. And increase accessibility in all forms of aspects for students, especially for the not so everyday student. Welfare, we know that being at university can be a very hard time for students, especially for those who are coming into education after a very long time. So I want to make sure that student well-being is a priority. Increase the provision of quiet or social spaces within the university, so especially for students who suffer from some form of mental health issues, and also to work with students by working with lecturers to provide effective and constructive feedback on various exams and assignments, and to also engage with mature international and EU students. So this way, so one way I could do this by doing diversity events, forming some form of buddy systems for students who are new to the UK, and also just to bridge the gap between lecturers and students overall. Thank you.
Thank you, Florence. Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Neil and I'm standing for Computing and Digital Marketing Human Sciences Sabbatical Officer. I'm a third year student for computer science. I'm going to talk about academics, amenities and fun. So in terms of academics, when I get elected, if I get elected, I will be standing for academic in point of view, like as a student, we need not only like lectures around us, but also inspiration. It's very important if someone as a guest lecturer come to us and talk to us about how he made it or how he actually got to that level that would actually inspire students. We have been like we have been taught a lot of things in the class, but sometimes you need something which is actually out of the class to go around and get this inspiration. In terms of academics, I would like to highlight the point where we had a lot of staff cut last year. 3 of our professors left already who used to teach us, and they were actually very experienced. And when we asked them what happened, they were like, they were running on behalf of Unisons, and because of the salary problems and the university have only certain salary quota or something to give them, they cut the staff, which is not really good because then you have to, students run around changing timetables and everything. So I would believe like when I get elected, I would stand for enough staff at least who would be able to teach us right on the time that was decided. In terms of amenities, I would like to say amenities as in, it's not only about what we get in uni, it's also about small things like canteen. We have a great canteen, but the food they serve is not really I'm not going to say it's not edible. I'm saying it's very delicious, but it's not really affordable. So I noticed this thing in Tesco, you get a Red Bull for £1.19, and in that place, we get it for £1.65. Actually, it should be the other way around. We should be getting cheap things in here. In terms of fun, I would like to say university is a service industry. We pay 9,000 to come here, so we should be served. It's not only about academics and everything, it's the experience we want to have. So last year, we had lots of parties and everything.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So the first question is to Zain about the seriousness of sabbatical officers. And then the second question will be to all candidates about discipline within the university.
First of all, thank you for your question. I wouldn't say that the sabbatical officers are not responsible. I just think that they need more time to engage with the students further. And the only way I see it is if the students can come up, speak about it, rather than staying suppressed with that and then going around telling others and not going to the right person. Yeah. I still consider it to be the right person, but what I'm trying to say is that only certain number of students have come to me, not like as in a large number. So that's where the problem is, that if students are not, given the message that we are there to help, then help wouldn't come forward. That's all I have to say. And your second question, sorry?
The second question is about the steps to have students who have problems, and this is for all.
Okay. So the students who are having problems, well, I think that they should be given, form of support from us, specifically from the STARS and the sabbatical officers. But as I said, it goes back again that they need to be informed that we are there to help them. If the information is not put forward to those students who need help, help won't come automatically. That's all I would like to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, could you just remind me of the 2 questions again, please?
So the question is your view. Yes.
So it was just for
Sorry, because the lady said that the second question is for all candidates. So
Okay. So the second question.
yes,
So the
just the
second
second bit,
question
yes,
is
yes.
regarding discipline. Okay. In regards to discipline, obviously, the university does have a form of like student discipline regulations put in place. However, it can be difficult to easily identify when a student is somewhat at risk. So what I would like to do is actually to work closer with the lecturers and course leaders to somewhat easily identify students who are at risk of going astray, things like that. Hopefully, the lecturers could undergo some form of like sensitivity training to help just pick out symptoms that may start to rise up, and also just to make sure that we as sabbatical officers, we actually go to the students and not the students coming to us. So if students are having difficulty, they should know that we are approachable to them and we are able to provide them with the right effective support should they start to feel a bit wary of things and they're not sure of who to turn to in that time of crisis. But what I would want to do is work closer with the lecturers to identify those students who are at risk and to make sure that as sabbatical officers, we are seen as more approachable in the near future and beyond. Thank you.
In terms of discipline, I believe discipline only comes when you're inspired enough and actually willing to do something. And you can only be inspired by going to lectures and having fun in the uni. We have an excellent service in student services, which is known as counseling. So for boys and girls separately, you could go there and talk to them about anything you want. I actually used it before, and they listen to you properly. They guide you and get you on track again. I think. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, excuse me. It's his turn to answer the question, and then we will move on. Thanks.
Sorry, Dave. The candidates are speaking, please. Can we have silence on the floor and some respect when our candidates are speaking, please?
As I was saying about the counseling, so they have a good counseling services which can be used by many students. And this, as I said, discipline, it can become only with the inspiration. Our lecturers really put on hard work for us. So if they can pinpoint out, like if a student suffering from any anxiety or any sort of he lack interest in classes or something, so I believe a lecturer could help and work with student counseling services to help the student in the best way possible. And as they said, the question we are not answering rightly, so I would like to listen again what they want to say. Yeah?
Thank you very much. So the question is regarding the food in canteen.
So your question is food. What kind of food? Okay. Okay, that's a good question because me personally, I'm a foodie at heart, and it's a case of sometimes the food, it looks appealing, but looks can be deceiving. So, so hopefully, one of the things I would like to see happen is for food to actually be subsidized and for there to be more variety of food. So whether it's Mediterranean dishes, dishes from Asia, the African coast, that kind of stuff, change it up every week so that we at least you're celebrating the diversity that is London Met. So lobby the university to actually subsidize the food. So that instead of students having to go outside to Tesco every single day to buy their food, they need to actually have lower price food, cheaper food, yeah, basically, yeah. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, food is on my manifesto. Actually, I wrote a lot about it because as a student, I'm really sometimes I struggle. Even if I have a kitchen in the home, I barely use it. So I completely dependent on takeaways and food in uni. So I believe, have you guys heard of Easy Coffee? They serve coffee for £1. So instead of giving contract to Costa, who's gonna give you $2.75 for a latte, you might want to give it to Easy Coffee. You might have like £1 for a coffee. That's how small things gonna change. We have, at the moment, we have contract with the Breaks company in the canteen, and they serve us the sandwiches and everything. Breaks is one of the most luxurious brand in terms of sandwiches. I mean, I understand we need to eat very healthy and proper and clean food, but there are also other companies who's gonna give you similar sort of food at the probably cheaper price. I will give you an example from Imperial College. I volunteered in their SU for a month as a part of my internship, and they have actual cooks in the culinary. They study in the uni. They make dishes like every Thursdays and Fridays especially, so that if you have a department where people are actually studying how to make food, you might want to just outsource them 2 days in the kitchen. They might come up with something like students actually run the restaurants in the Westminster Hotel for 2 days is fine. That way you could actually learn stuff, get enough food, and there's diversity, not eating sandwiches all day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really, for food, I'd really say it's personal preference of what you really prefer. But coming to the price, I would say that they really need to reduce it. And also, the contracts that they have with, they should look for alternatives as well, where they could get good quality food, but alongside they could get on a cheaper rate. So rather than having to pay almost double the price, or maybe more at times, where you could get cheaper food from outside, maybe half the price of that, they should have that kind of consideration, look into those factors, and think about it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Can I get the candidates from CAS to come forward? So our next candidate is Georgina. Thanks.
Hi everybody. I'm Georgia Robinson. I'm your current CAS Art, Architecture and Design Sabbatical Officer. First of all, let me just say, I love my job. It's fantastic. It's a great experience. It's a pity every student couldn't get an opportunity to do this job. It really is rewarding. When I came to this, when I got the position, there were so many things I wanted to do, so many things. And let me say, a year is not enough, definitely not enough. But yeah, there were so many things I wanted to do, but what I really wanted to concentrate on was the communication. Because being in the CAS and Aldgate, we missed out so much. I didn't even know what a sabbatical officer was until we occupied the CAS. For me, that was very painful in the end because I didn't have that experience. I didn't experience the hub, I didn't experience all the services that was available. And so that was my journey. And I'm on that journey now. And for me, the communication is key. And so what I have done as in my role on my journey, I have been working relentlessly to try and get a common space, because I think within the university, you should have a space where all students from all disciplines can come together and be creative together, engage with each other and share. And we didn't have that, but we have now got it at the CAS, at Central House. I've been working with the university to create and find spaces, social spaces. I've also been working with Verb magazine, engaging the university, the services, all in one to just create a platform where we can really execute the communication throughout the whole university.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Number one, we don't even have a canteen at Central House, so count your blessings. You have to bear with me, I've got a cold. My name is Jenny Nash. I'm running for sabbatical officer. I'm a third-year photography student, fine art. So you guys from Holloway, I would assume, most of you. So what I want to talk about is what I want to bring from the CAS to here. And in every election, like the elections I was involved in last year, it's kind of sad to hear people say, we don't get enough time with our lecturers. We don't, that mature students don't feel included or whatever, because we don't have that problem at CAS. Like, we get tutorials all the time, and we have really amazing supportive teachers. Like you were talking about inspirational people. This is why the CAS students kicked up such a fuss last year, because we love our lecturers. and we love our faculty. We're so passionate about it. Some people pull 12-hour days there. They get there at 9 o'clock and they don't leave the building until it shuts at 9. We're there all the time because we love it so much. And I'd really, really like for all the faculties to feel like that, and for everyone to feel like they have that relationship with their lecturers that we do. That would be so great. And mature students and all the other students. And it's just a bit sad that you guys don't get that experience that we get at Central House. So that's what I would really like to kind of bring to you guys, even though I wouldn't be your rep. So there.
Hi everyone, thanks for coming. My name is Justina. I am a third-year student of film and broadcast production over at CAS. I just want to highlight four actually, main points on my manifesto, and it's as follows. If I get elected, I would love to campaign for keeping Wednesday afternoon free, which will be a time for all students to get involved with any volunteering, work experience, placements, get involved with sports, societies. Use this time to build your CV pretty much, and I think it's a must because a lot of students struggle, managing time between university, trying to be involved in the SU especially, and work part-time because after all we live in London, it's quite expensive. Goldsmith currently got it granted, and I believe London Met can be the next one to have Wednesday afternoon free. The next point is to support students affected by the move. I am one of the students who have been affected in a big way, and I want to make sure that doesn't happen to anybody else. I will listen to all their needs and definitely improve the communication between management and students, because this year we didn't get any updates about the move, and it's quite upsetting because we have no idea what's happening. So that's another point. And third point is I will lobby for the nursery for students and staff with children because they really need that kind of support. And lastly, I would love to create more events, get more students involved because SU is a wonderful community, and let's just make it bigger.
Thanks a lot, candidates. Now we are taking questions from the floor. Yes, please. Thank you. So the question is about the values that you would bring if you would get the position, and also the student involvement. How would you improve that?
Okay, so we're paying £9,000 a year to get an education here, and one of the main things that we come here for is our lecturers, who are really talented people with amazing careers, and we want to learn from them. So as somebody else mentioned, redundancies, for example, affect student experience massively, and we've really felt this at the CAS. And that's something that I'm really, really passionate about. It's something that I fought for last year. I backed the teachers' strikes. I've had untold arguments with management people, with our dean. I backed our dean that was suspended and then forced to resign because he didn't agree with one campus. And that's something, all these things that affect student experience, like guest lecturers, somebody mentioned. Well, we've had all our budget cut on our courses, so now we can't afford certain people, and we have people come in as a favour to our lecturers. And things like a creche, for example, is like the best idea on the planet, but it's like really fighting to get the money for it out of this uni when they're sticking staff on HPL contracts, which are 0 hours. There's no rights, no career progression. These people are working hours that are not getting paid to teach us. And this is all to do with, this is how you can make the student experience better, is that we get alongside our lecturers and we build London Met up. I'm saying no to £500,000 a year wages, like certain people that I won't mention, and less HPL contracts. Give the lecturers the tools and more funding for their courses. Give them the tools to give us our £9,000 worth and stop blaming them. So that's where I kind of come from on student experience.
Thank you.
Okay, it's a hard one with the CAS because we really did suffer in terms of engagement. But what I'm actually doing now as a current sabbatical officer, is we have now got a functional space, which is the student union now at Calcutta House. And we are now extending engagement with students at Calcutta House to engage with societies. So we have a list of societies, which we have found a lot more CAS students are getting involved in societies. We have the common room now at Central House, even though Central House will be closing in June. We have started the radio shows where we are inviting students from all schools to come on and engage with selected services to actually find out what is available for students through the services and at the in the university itself. And we are creating spaces, social spaces within the university for students. So I think for me, it really is about bringing all students together in a place where they can engage and exchange. And that is the platform that I'm building right now through the magazine and through the radio.
Thank you very much to all candidates.
Thank you. I want to mention Varsity, which has just gone last week. It was a massive success. We had students engaged from Allgate, which I was quite surprised because, like you said, CAS people don't get involved in the SU as much as Holloway people. And the office is now open. It is a usable space, but I would make sure that is, bigger, better, and people know about it. Make a massive sign saying, we're here, we're Students' Union, please come whenever you're free. As an SU officer, I would go around and speak to people every single day, make sure they know who I am, and make sure that, we are doing bits and bobs and they can get involved with it. So be approachable as much as I can. And probably get involved stars. I mean, every single class got a star. And if we let them know that we've got certain things happening, they are the first point of contact to their class. So I would love to involve stars within that as well. So.
Thank you very much to the candidates. Okay, so moving on. The floor is now to Tunde.
Hi guys, how are you? I'm Tunde Toki, and I'm currently the sabbatical officer for the Guildhall School of Business and Law. Sorry guys. I'd just like to talk about three main things, which is support, continuation, and communication. And if we're elected again, I plan to continue to support my students as I have over the previous months since I've been in office. And I would like to continue on different projects that I've started in Moorgate. Like, for example, we'll be having our tech booths in the basement in Moorgate. There's a lot of projects I've started with the employability team and the careers team. So there's a lot of things going on that I'm doing for the students in Moorgate. And also communication, to improve the communication between the students and also the lecturers and also the board of management. So if we're elected again, I look to keep doing what I'm doing and even to improve what I'm doing a lot better and to make London Met better again. Thank you.
Hello folks. Today here I stand before you because I want to make London Met great again. I'm going to do this by getting rid of people who come here only for the student loan and have no care whatsoever about the work they do here for their assignments. Our university ranking is pathetic. We are at the bottom. I believe if we kick them out, we'll make London Met great again. All students are tired of people coming in to 3-hour lectures, 2 hours late. This university level academia, like university level. They are university level and they are here, apparently. We need to get rid of them. I'm going to make London Met great again. The second thing I'm going to do is rebuild the university spirit. And I will do this in the Margate campus, Business and Law. I'm Philip Janos, Phil Janos on the ballot for Business and Law faculty. Please vote for me to make London Met great again. And I will do that by creating more social spaces in Margate and making the Rocket cool again. No one goes there, no one knows about it, it's not cool. I'm going to make it cool again. Vote for Phil Janos.
Thank you very much. The next candidate.
So, hi everyone.
Can we have silence, please? Silence, thank you.
Hi everyone. My name is Yvette Kaufman, and I'm a final year international business management student. I'm running for sabbatical officer position for Guildhall School of Business and Law. Over the years, I have been involved in several extracurricular activities. I set up my own society, the Hiking, Walking and Sightseeing Society, and I've been previously involved in the running of the Banking and Finance Society. I'm also a star and member of the Student Council, and more recently I volunteered to participate in a course design and delivery project, which allows us to shape our own education here at London Met. 3 things I like to highlight from my manifesto. First of all, if I get elected, I like to make sure that I truly represent your voice by making the student union more approachable and building a culture of transparent communication. The second thing I like to do is to enhance student experience and employability. I like to make sure that I work closely together with societies to make sure that they offer the best they can. And I also like to make sure that there are more part-time job opportunities available for students within the university. And the last thing I like to highlight is the drastic cut of our academic staff. They are planning to cut more staff, and I believe that it has had a negative effect on teaching quality and the support available to students. And I strongly feel against these cuts, and I like to fight against them. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. We are not taking questions. Is there any questions, preferably from someone from the business school? Thank you. So the question is about students not showing up to lectures. Can you state your views on that?
Okay, I will start. First of all, I think it comes down to engagement. And obviously there are different reasons why a student doesn't engage. It could be down to personal problems. It could be down to the fact that they have financial issues and they have to work a lot. Or it could be just the fact that they might have chosen the wrong subject and they are not interested in their studies and what they are doing. So I believe that there should be support for those students, and what they could do for them is to see if they can help them with anything to tackle this issue. Thank you.
The first thing I'm going to do when I get elected as the president is email the board of directors of this university and tell them that students in this university are coming, some students, not all, but there's a lot of them, come here only for the student loan. And I will tell them that they can make more interviews at the very beginning when they get people on the courses, because to see if they care, if they actually care about the work they do for the university. And the second thing is taking the registers and treating them more seriously, because you can just write yourself down, for the next day or whatever. I think it should be done electronically by the teachers before the lecture. And if the person comes 30 minutes late, they should not be on the register at all. They should not be marked in.
There are two ways. There are two ways to this, to your question, which is you have, yeah, you have students who actually are not coming in due to actually personal reasons, which are actually serious, and we look into all these reasons, and then you have students who actually don't come in because they do not give any crap coming in, so but they're not coming in. So we actually look into the attendance of students, and we actually look into all the circumstances. If it falls into circumstances where students need support, we provide the support. The SU, we stand for the students, we represent the students. And then when it comes to the scenario where students are not just bothered to come in, we have scenarios like that that's come up. And what we do is we look properly into this, and then we're able to tell, okay, is this student's just taking a mic, not coming in just because he doesn't want to. And for example, for group work, for example, it's actually come up this year, and what happened was the marks that was given in the group was just given to the students who actually did the work, and then the students who didn't come in didn't get the mark for the work. So circumstances are looked into properly before we make judgments on what to do with this kind of situation.
Thank you. We are going to take one more question. Yes, in the back. Yes.
Perhaps I could interpret the question, do you think 2 years and what the Education Act states is appropriate, or do you think maybe longer is required, or perhaps you agree 2 years, or perhaps you have a different view?
I agree 2 years because, trust me, a year is nearly gone, and I'm just about to actually get into the job. So literally, if you have a year, it's not enough time for you to, because trust me, there are different projects that can come up during the year that will actually need more than a year to go through, and you need another year to finish projects like this or things like this. So I think the 2 years time put on it it's enough, and it shouldn't be more or less. Well, that's why we have the election every year. So I stood last year. That doesn't mean I can stand again this year. If one of them do go in, I'm out of the office. So that's why we run this election every year, to renew everybody in the office. If you're good enough to stand last year and able to run another election this year and win the election, then that's kudos to you. But that's why we run this election every year, to refresh the whole table every year. So it could be different for a set of new people that come into the office this year. It could be the same. It could be a mix-up. So it's all different.
Three years for me, it's too much. It's like it needs to rotate. You know, different people need to have experience and so on. 1 year is not enough to do much. And to be fair, like the people you're gonna work with, the teachers or the board of directors of this university, will not really know who you are, and they will just brush you off if it's 1 year. I think 2 years is perfect, especially for me, because in the first year I'm going to talk to them about getting rid of the people who come here only for the student loan, and for the second year, in the second year I'll build a wall. I'll build a wall, and it is going to be a great wall. In the second year.
Candidate, can you please sit? Can you please sit?
Sure. And it is going to be a beautiful wall, because the art students will paint it.
Thank you very much.
And the architecture students will design
it. Next candidate, thank you very much.
Thank you. I believe that 1 year should be enough.
Excuse me, the candidate is speaking. Thank you.
I think 1 year should be enough to actually make some progress, and I think it's possible if you really put your mind and heart into it, and you really take your job seriously, and you show your commitment and strong work ethic. And but I don't see any reason why someone couldn't be re-elected. I mean, if they do a good job and students think that the person is the right person to be in that position to represent them and work for them, then I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be re-elected.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.